So today's our topic is the sorting of materials into groups. So first, why we need classification? Lohini,
Can you repeat the questions now?
why we need to do the sorting of materials?
To differentiate or something.
To differentiate something, okay. Or to identify the substance easily,
Yes, sir. That's what I was going to say.
right? And you can study
Yes,
the
sir.
properties of the substance easily. Yes or
Sir,
no?
because
If you
sir,
take
because
all the
it's
similar substances together now, you can compare one with others, right? Like
yes, sir.
if you place all the soaps together in the store, you can compare the different types of different brands of soaps together. Which one is good and which one is not good and all. But if you place one soap in one place of the store and other soap in other standard, it is very difficult to find out only first, right? So sorting will do generally to study the objects properly and helps in reducing the time to find the objects. So again, we have the different properties are there to sort the materials based upon their physical properties or the chemical properties. So classification means what? The process of sorting and grouping things according to some basis. Whatever the basis we want, according to that, we'll sort the substance and classify them into the groups. That is called as a classification. Right? So basing of the groups, you can group materials on the basis of similarities and the difference in their properties. Yes or no? If you want to place
Yes,
the materials into one group now, either should have the same properties or the similarity should be there between them, or we are going to place the different groups, the different types of objects. So if you take the metals and non-metals, how we can sort them?
sir. Can you repeat once?
Suppose you
Can
have the
repeat
metal.
once?
Suppose you have the metals and non-metals are there together.
Yes,
On
sir.
what basis we will sort them?
Sir, conductors and insulators.
Okay, based upon the conductors and insulators, we'll say. But simple property is there, right? Metals will have the lustrous nature, non-metals are non-lustrous in nature. Yes or no? Metals are lustrous in nature,
Yes,
non-metals are non-lustrous in nature. So based
yes,
upon the simple property, we can sort the materials.
sir.
Whichever
Like
is the
iron, sir.
shining, whichever is the shining surface, we will keep in one side. Whichever is not having shiny surface, we'll keep it on other side. So in that way, we can separate the metals and the non-metals. Okay. The next one is based upon the rough surface and the smooth surface. Just if you touch the object, if you feel the surface is smooth now, you can keep in the one group. If the surface is hard or the coarse now, you can keep it in on the other group. Okay. So this is also one type of classification based upon the roughness and the smoothness.
For example,
Example, if you take the stone, okay, and the
yes,
iron
sir.
rod, how we can separate?
Okay, sir.
Or if you take the plastic and the iron, how you can separate? Plastic will have
For
the smooth
lustrous.
surface, right?
Yes, sir.
Plastic will have the smooth surface, but what about the iron or the stone? Will have a little rough
Rough.
surface. So based upon that, we can separate. Next one is the hardness and softness. What is the hardness and what is the softness?
Sir, hard means like very strong, sir,
Okay.
and like cannot be destroyed easily.
Okay.
So soft means it can be broken like very easily, sir.
Softness, it will break up very easily.
Very easily.
Next, any other points?
Sir, what, sir?
Any other points? Suhana? What is hardness and what is the softness?
The hardness is and harder like rock, and smoothness is very soft and very honey in sauce and lots of time.
Hardness means what? If the substance is hard,
Hardness,
if you apply some force also, it will not compress at all, right?
yes,
The substances which are not compressed at all is called as an hard substance. Like iron rod, which is a hard object, right? Which will not compress at all.
sir.
But softness means what? If you apply some
Soft.
pressure, it will compress easily.
Yes, sir.
That is a softness, like duster. It is a soft in nature. Yes or no?
Sir.
Okay. Next one is the solubility. So what is the solubility? Based upon the solubility, how we can classify the substance? Based upon the solubility, how we can classify the substance? Substance which dissolve in the water are called as insoluble substance. Which are not dissolved in the water are called as a non-soluble substance or the insoluble substance. So based upon this also can classify the substance into two different groups, right? All this we are telling just to classify the substance only. Hardness, softness, luster, rough surface, smooth surface. Just they are the two different terms. But based upon this, we can sort the substance or not.
Yes, sir.
Ashwath, what happened?
Yes, sir. I'm listening, sir.
Okay. Is it boring?
No, sir, it's not boring, sir.
Sir, he's just waiting for the quizzes.
No, sir, I'm not ready.
Is it correct? Waiting for the last 10 minutes when the class will finish, when the 550 will come.
No, sir, no.
Okay. Then soluble, insoluble substance. Based upon this, also you can classify the substance into two different categories. Soluble substance and the insoluble substance. But where we will use the term soluble and the miscible? Ashwath,
Yes, sir.
in which case we will use the term soluble and in which case we will use the term miscible?
Sir, miscible for two liquids and soluble for a liquid and a solid.
Miscible is for the two liquids.
And soluble is for a liquid and a solid. Solvent
Good.
and a solute.
Miscible is only for the two liquids. Whenever the one liquid is mixed thoroughly with the other liquid, I can say it is a miscible. Soluble is between the solid and the liquid. Like if one solid dissolved in the given liquid, now it is a soluble. Like can you tell example, Lohini? Soluble example and the miscible example.
For soluble example, salt and water. For miscible, honey and oil and honey.
Whether oil and honey will mix? No. So it is an immiscible one.
Immiscible one.
Okay, good. So soluble example is the salt and water, and the oil and honey are the immiscible one, or you can take oil and water or the immiscible. Okay. But if you take normal miscible liquids, any example, Suhana?
Sir, sugar
Yes,
and
sir.
Miscible liquids, any example?
Salt, lemon,
sugar.
Lemon juice. Sugar is a solid,
Yes.
right? You cannot
Yes,
take the
sir.
sugar.
Oh.
Salt and lemon, sir.
Sorry?
Salt and lemon.
Salt will
Sir,
not come. Salt is a soluble
salt is
substance,
a-
right?
Powder, sir.
Oh yeah.
We want only two liquids.
Sir, lemon, sir.
Yes, sir. One is lemon in.
Lemon juice you can take. Lemon juice in the water. Both will mix thoroughly, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So miscible, immiscible liquids. Based upon this also you can classify the substance into two different categories. Now, suppose when you've taken the cool drinks or the aerated drinks, when you open the bottle of that, what sound you will get, Ashwath?
Yes, sir.
When you open the cool drink bottle, what will happen?
Sir, Carbon. Sir, foam will generate foam, sir.
Foam. If you shake the bottle, it will generate the foam. But
Yes,
if you
sir.
open normally, na,
Some,
Sir, the air will-
sir, the air will burst out.
air will burst out.
Yeah, the air will come out of the
Is it the
carbon.
air? No, it is
Sir,
a
the
carbon
entire
dioxide
bottle
gas,
will
right?
explode.
No.
Yeah,
So whenever you take the aerated bottles, aerated cool drinks or the cool drinks, generally when you open the bottle itself, some fizz sound will come, right? So that is nothing but the carbon dioxide gas is escaping into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide, whatever the carbon dioxide gas dissolved in the given cold drink will comes out of that and goes into the atmosphere. That means the solubility of the gas only, right? The gas will dissolve in the liquid. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you take the water, inside the water, the oxygen will dissolve, right? Then only the fish can breathe with the help of gills. If the oxygen, if the gas does not dissolve in the liquid, now whether fish can live in the water?
No, sir.
No. Then Ashwath cannot eat the fish at all. Ashwath, will you eat?
Sir, Ashwath is hungry, sir.
Ashwath. Hello.
Sir, we can hear
Yes,
you.
sir, we can hear you.
Are you vegetarian or non-vegetarian?
And non-vegetarian.
Yes, sir, he likes fish. Sir.
Then good. Okay. So if the gas dissolve in the water only, the aquatic life will survive in the water, right? That is only the solubility of the gases. Some gases will dissolve very, very less, like carbon dioxide, which will dissolve very less in the water. Okay, some gas dissolve very high, like oxygen. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
So based upon that also can classify the gases based upon the solubility in the given liquids. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So oxygen gas which dissolve in the water is very important for the survival of aquatic plants and animals.
Sir, what is that, sir? Bioyancy. Sir, there is written bioyancy.
Sorry,
Sir?
bio?
Sir, like underneath that tube, right, sir? That like glass thing. Sir, there's bioyancy. Sir, down, sir. Sir, look down.
Bioyancy. Okay.
Sir.
Buoyancy.
Yes, sir. What is it? Sir, you're in mute, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, what is that, sir?
So that one discussed. Let me finish this topic first.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So oxygen gas dissolved in the given water, which is very important for the survival of aquatic plants and animals. So you can take it here properly. These are the diagrams for the given about topics. The first one is about the some liquids mix well with water, while others are mixed with the water. Okay, next one is a buoyancy. What is this?
Sir, what is what?
Sir, sir,
With the help of the diagram only you can say that answer.
so it's density. Sir, some objects will flow on, some objects will sink, sir. Density.
Some object will
Some objects will float and some objects.
so buoyancy is nothing but some objects will flow in the water, some other objects will sink in the water. Okay, material like sand, sugar, and salt will sink in the water because it will have the more density than the water. But whichever
Yes,
the
sir.
object is lesser in density than the water will start floating on the water. Okay. But
Okay.
whether ship is made up of iron or not,
Yes, sir, it is.
whether iron will have the more density than water or not.
Yes, sir.
If you take the iron rod and keep it in the water, it will sink or it will float.
Sink.
It will sink. Then ship is also large ship also made up of iron only, right?
Sir, because there's a lot of water, sir, in the ocean.
There's a lot of water in the ocean.
Yes, sir.
No, you have to find the answer. That is your homework today. If you take the iron rod, it will sink in the water. But if you take the ships, they will float on the water. What is the main reason?
Sir, because the boats have air inside it, sir. Because of air, it will float.
Oh, there is a airbag like cars under the boat.
No, sir. Inside the boat there will be air, right?
Inside the boat, there will be air. How come,
Yes, sir.
man? It is open only, right?
Sir, then, sir, inside in the ship, there will like under the ship there will be a
The bottom part.
it will be open, sir. It will be open under it. It won't be just a solid.
No, it's not correct. Adarth,
Yes, sir.
you know the answer?
No, sir, I have no.
Suhana?
Yes, sir.
Sir, because of buoyancy, sir. Because of buoyancy.
Suhana,
Yes, sir.
Sir, because of buoyancy.
you know the answer?
No, sir.
Lohini?
No, sir, I don't know.
Turn on your cam, everyone. Suhana,
Yes, sir.
turn on your cam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ashwath, what is the answer?
Sir, because of buoyancy. Sir, I have a power cut here. I'll just switch off. Because of buoyancy, sir.
Okay, just you find out that is the homework for you today.
Sir, buoyancy is wrong.
What is the principle behind the ships floating on the water? Okay. What is the principle behind the ship which floats on the water?
Okay, sir.
So material like sand, sugar, and salt will sink in the water because it has a more density than the water, and the cardboard or the thermocol sheets, these will start floating on the water because they have the less density than the water. Clear? Okay, one more common example. Suppose if you place some object in the water, you can see that object is a bigger one, right? Compared to the normal size. Suppose if you take a transparent glass and if you add some water to that, and if you add some other object, solid object to it, what will happen? When you see inside the water, you can appear the object is bigger in size. Yes or no? Can you hear me or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes, sir.
Then what is the main reason behind that? Nice, we are getting today all the general questions, doubts. Why the ship will float in the water? Why the object will appear bigger in size than the normal when
Sir,
you place
what?
in the water?
Sir, why?
Why the object will appear bigger in size when you place it in the water? Okay. So these are the two homeworks for you today. Will you do today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So next one is the transparency. Right? So based upon the transparency, you can have the three different types: opaque, translucent, and the transparent. So what is the meaning of opaque?
The object
A human.
the large light proof.
The object?
The objects won't let the light through.
So whichever the object does not allow the light to pass through it is called as an opaque object, right? If the light is not passing through that object, that is called as an opaque object. What about the translucent?
Translucent allows some light to pass through.
It will allows the partial amount of the light to pass through it, right? That's the translucent. Transparent is what? What is transparent?
Transparent allows the light to pass through. It's visible to see properly.
So it allows the complete light to pass through it. That is a transparent. Okay, good. So we can see the other side of the transparent glass very clearly. The material is very transparent, right? We can see other side very clearly and the complete light will pass through it. Now Suhana is having one window type substance in the background. Is it the transparent or opaque or the translucent? Then Suhana has to show her window. First, who will answer? Ashwath?
Sir?
What is that window? Is it the transparent or the translucent and opaque?
They're both opaque and transparent because of the iron rods there and because of the window.
Okay.
Sir, because it is used and used, it will become translucent.
Okay. Now you're selling is a translucent. What about Siddharth?
Transparent, sir. Transparent, sir.
Transparent. Final answer. Let again we'll change. Is it final? Shall we lock it? Ashwath? Can I lock your answer?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. 1 second. Did you watch the show?
Did you watch, sir?
1 second. Someone will tell one show, right?
कौन बनेगा करोड़पति?
हाँ सर.
Okay. Next, Siddharth. What about Siddharth? Completely out of the game itself. Next, Lohini.
Sir, it's translucent.
Translucent. Then who will reveal the answer last finally? Suhana has to tell the answer.
Yes, sir. Translucent.
Transparent or translucent?
Translucent.
Translucent. Because it is allowing only the partial amount of the light through it, right? So it is a translucent one,
Yes.
right? If it's the transparent, now you can see other side also clearly, right? I think so. Lohini's window glass is the transparent one. Yes, Lohini?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So now we can classify the objects based upon the transparent, translucent, and the opaque. Fine. Any doubts in this?
No doubts.
Okay. Suppose you are walking in the, whether our body is a transparent or translucent.
Opaque.
Sir,
Okay.
open.
Okay. Which type of objects will form the shadows?
Sir,
Opaque.
opaque
Open.
objects.
Opaque only.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Opaque only will form the shadows.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So opaque will only the forms the shadows. Good. So transparent and the translucent will not form the shadows at all. Then we'll stop it here itself. Again, we will go for the other ghost stories. It is not good. I hope you understand, right?
Yes, sir.
So I am not the responsible for your getting fear in the night. Okay.
Sir, we're not scared of ghosts, sir.
Okay.
Sir, we are not scared, sir, but
No,
ghosts are
Ashwath will
real.
not come at all nearby that. It will run away from your place.
Sir, the ghost will eat Ashwath's fish.
Sir, it is real, sir. Ghosts are real.
Okay. We don't want no one. What is it? Important facts about that. About that now. So we'll have the important facts about the subject only.
Sir, Ashwath is scared right now, sir.
That's what he's putting hide and seek with us.
Yes, sir, his camera is off, sir.
Okay, good. So next one is what? Based upon the. I think we have done this already, right? Hard and soft, soluble,
Yes,
insoluble.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, rough metals. Transparent, translucent. Yeah. Who is this? Hide and seek person?
Yeah, Ashwath, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, Siddharth. Every time
Sir?
Ashwath only. Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's offing his camera, sir. Why on?
Sir, no, sir.
This time we'll give it to Edarth only. Okay, next one is a grouping on the basis of common properties. So this also we have done. So which are the objects having the common properties, we'll place them in the one group. And which are the objects there in the other properties, we'll place in the other groups. Right? Like a soft one as the one side, hard one as the other side. Soluble in one side, insoluble in the other side. Transparent on one side, opaque on the other side, and the translucent on the other side. So based upon our need, we'll classify the objects into different groups. That's what again explaining here, roughness. If you touch the wood, bark of the tree, it is very rough in nature. But if you take the same plant flower, it is very soft in nature, right?
Yes, sir.
So in the same thing, the same plant, you have the both the things are there. One is a very rough in nature, the other one is a very soft in nature. So based upon that also you can classify the things. What is the meaning of luster?
Sir, which will say?
Oh, shiny
Fine.
thing,
Sir,
sir.
silk is a luster.
Silk is the
Oh,
lustrous
shiny
nature.
object.
Okay. Shiny surface is called as in luster. Shiny
the
surface
moon.
of a material is called as in luster. Yeah, you go and touch the sorry.
Oh,
Moon. Okay, good. You are saying. You cannot say the moon is a lustrous thing first because it is reflecting the sunlight only, right? It is a non-luminous body only.
okay.
If you take the silver article, it is a lustrous in nature. It will reflect the sunlight, right? We have some shiny surface. Okay, between bronze statue, it is also somewhat lustrous in nature, bronze.
Yes, sir.
Gold, sir.
Yeah. So transparency also we have did already. But the solid, liquid, and gas, have you studied about this? No.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir, not now, sir.
Sir, revision we have.
Revision we didn't, sir.
In the revision we didn't do, but in the normal class we did, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the properties of solids?
So what, sir?
It's not.
What are the properties of solids?
Sir, it has like a definite shape and volume, sir.
yes, sir.
Hmm?
It cannot change its shape and volume.
It cannot change it.
Like shape or volume.
Okay. Next.
Sir, particle, they will be closely packed, sir.
Okay. Next.
Sir, and it cannot be easily compressed.
It cannot be easily compressed. Okay. Next. Good.
Sir, it's very hard in nature.
Next. That's all.
Yes, sir.
So if you take the important properties about the definite shape and the definite volume, the solids will have. Next one. Solids cannot be compressed easily. Yes or no? If you apply some force on the solids also, they will not compress at all easily. The next ones, whatever the particles are there in the solid, they are very closely packed with each other. So whatever the particles are there inside the solid, they are very close to each other. They will not move from one place to the other place at all. That's why they will not compress at all. There is no empty space right between them. So they will not compress at all. Then what about the liquids? What about the liquids?
Liquids can
Sir,
change this
Sir, it can
water.
change its shape.
Liquid have different shape, different color,
The
different taste.
liquid will have a definite shape.
No, it doesn't.
Sir, no, sir.
It doesn't have
Sir, it
to.
has a definite volume.
Liquid don't have a
But
definite shape at all.
not definite shape.
It has a definite volume only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So liquid has a definite, no definite shape, but it has a definite value. So always they will take the shape of the container itself in which they are poured into. The next one, Little bit compression only possible in the liquids. This
Yes,
also
sir.
will not compress at all completely.
Not
And the last one, the particles are not as close as the solids. There's a little distance
so
between
little
there
distance.
is there in the particles in the liquids. Then what about the gas?
Sir, it has nothing definite, sir. Shape or volume.
There is no definite shape, there is no definite value. They can go anywhere freely and randomly, right?
Yes, sir.
It's highly incompressible in nature. Sorry, highly compressible in nature. Okay, particles are loosely packed. They are not tightly packed, they are very loosely packed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are the important properties of the solids, liquids, and the gases. So based upon this also, you can classify the objects into different groups. Right? So now Ashwat will tell us some examples of gases which are very important to our life.
Sir, carbon dioxide, oxygen.
Carbon dioxide is important to our life.
Yes, sir. Because if trees will take carbon dioxide and then oxygen will be given.
Good.
Oxygen.
Okay. Next. Yeah, Lohini.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, this is a ball and
Hmm.
I can press it really hard. So
Yeah.
is it a solid?
Yes.
It is
But
a
I can
solid.
press it.
Yeah, that's what. It is a smooth surface. You can say it has a definite shape is there and the definite volume is there. But it's not completely a true solid.
It's a solid.
It is like a amorphous solid. Good. So solids are
What?
two types. One is a crystalline solid, the other one is a amorphous solid. Crystalline solid is the one which will not compress at all. They have the definite shape, they have the definite volume, and the particles also very tightly packed. So they will not compress at all. But whichever you took is a amorphous solid. That is not the true solid completely.
Semi-solid.
Okay. Yeah, it is just, it's not completely a true solid, right? So it is very soft in nature. That's what is you have done other classification, right?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
You have other classification also. So hardness and the softness. So ball will come under the soft solids only, like sponge. Next, any other doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Next, solubility. You have done already. What is the adding of vinegar to the water? Is it soluble or the miscible?
Sir, vinegar to the water. Sir, immiscible.
Is it miscible or soluble?
Sir, what, sir? Vinegar to water, sir?
Yeah, what's the vinegar first?
Sir, it's like what we use for
Liquid,
cooking.
sir.
For cooking, sir. Sir, vinegar is a liquid.
Okay.
Sir, and water is also liquid, so it's an immiscible.
So it is a
Immiscible, sir. It
immiscible.
doesn't. Yes, sir.
Vinegar.
So vinegar and water do not mix, right, sir?
Suhana will tell the answer.
Yes, sir.
Is it miscible or immiscible?
Measurement.
What about Lohini?
Miscible, sir.
Miscible. What about Ashwat? He'll go and test
Yes,
and
sir.
come.
Sir,
What about the vinegar and the water? What
sir,
type of
vinegar and water, they will mix.
What?
sorry, we didn't understand.
Sir, sir, I think they are miscible.
Sir, he mutes his mic at the last second, sir.
Sir, it is miscible.
It is miscible. Correct only. Vinegar and the water are the miscible liquids only. 1 minute, please. Okay. So next one we have done the based upon the flotation also, right? Floating stones. This we didn't do. Magnetic separation. So if you take some objects, they'll attract by the magnets, but other objects will not be attracted by the magnet. Yes or no?
They don't have one.
So if you take some objects, they will attract by the magnets. Other objects will not be attracted by the magnets. So whichever they are attracted by magnets, you can make it one group.
Sir, iron.
Iron, good. Next, any other things are there attracted by magnet?
Iron, nickel.
Iron,
Yes,
nickel,
sir.
copper. Copper will attract the
Sir,
magnet.
gold.
Gold.
Sir,
Really?
Sir, that can't, sir.
Gold will not be attracted by magnet most. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You can take iron. Okay. So based upon that also, you can classify the objects into different groups. The next one is the conduction of heat, conductors and the insulators. Right? So if you take this pan, which part of this pan is a conductor and which part of this pan is the insulator?
Sir, the pan itself.
Sir,
not
the pan itself is the conductor and the handle is the
insulator.
Handle is the insulator, which will not conduct the heat at all, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So based upon this also, you can classify the objects into two different groups. One is the conductors, which will conduct the heat and electricity. The other one is the insulator, which will not conduct the heat and electricity.
Sir, in
Okay.
3 minutes, Ashwath's favorite part will come, sir.
I am not going to start today.
Sir,
He
not
didn't talk.
favorite. Sir,
He
not
didn't turn
favorite.
on the cam, right?
Hey, Ashwath, turn on the camera. Will have.
Oh, power came now immediately.
Sir,
About
power cut, sir. See, sir.
Yes, sir. It's very dark,
Black.
sir. It's very dark.
Okay, okay.
Power cut.
So, okay, suppose if the electricity is passing through the person, whether you can say is the conductor or the insulator,
Sir, what, sir?
whether the human beings is the conductors or insulators.
Sir, conductor.
Conductors
Yes, sir.
will get the shock.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we'll say the electrocuted, not the conductors or the insulators. We'll use a different term. Ah, this is all will come. We'll say it is a electrocuted. Okay. We don't
The
say use the
shock.
term. No, don't use the shock also. We'll say electrocuted.
Okay, sir.
So whenever the current is passing through from our body to the earth, that is called as an electrocution or the electrocuted. So insulator means which does not conduct the electricity at all. That is called as an insulator. So based upon that also you can classify the objects into different groups. So again, we are studying the same thing about the electric cables.
Sir, what is this? A banana, sir?
What banana?
Sir, what is this?
Just emojis, that's all.
Oh,
So same thing. So with this we finish this chapter also. So any doubts in this chapter?
sir, will we
No,
have quiz?
sir.
We'll have the quiz.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.